So how does this usually work? What is this one for?
Your plate. That's your plate.
Oh, for the.
No,
you eat out of this. I see. When you get like shin ramen, is it like that packet inside, kind of?
Kind of.
Can we cook a ramen? So what is the most you've seen someone eat here? See, do you think I should add Thai chilies too, or that's just like insane?
I don't think so.
You know how I got the name Witch Topokki? Do you do corn cheese here? I saw like a picture. How much can you eat? Have you had to kick anyone out ever and be like, who makes the best sauce here?
I mean,
just say you do.
I guess I do.
Who invented this? Do you know?
No idea.
Is that an annoying question? Sorry. So today we're making stir-fried bacon and rice cakes with bitter melon and tofu skin. I've been making it for 10 plus years and I finally realized it really reminds me of spicy bacon and French toast. It's a party in your mouth. So today we're taking it back to the restaurant days. When you're a chef at a restaurant or a cook at a restaurant, you eat so much of the thing you're cooking all the time that you kind of want the opposite of what you're making. When I had Mission, I didn't really want to eat Sichuan food. To this day, I really don't eat Sichuan food that often, but this is one of the dishes that I do crave quite a bit. When I cook this dish, I would cook it in a wok. In every restaurant I cooked it in, we had a big industrial hood vent that would extract all of the smoke out of the restaurant. You cannot cook that in my New York City apartment. You probably can't cook it in your house or wherever you live, but you can cook it in the dome. And so that's something I'm really excited about, is being able to replicate in a cast iron pan. Well, first we'll process the bitter melon, get this nice and evened out. For someone that's never had bitter melon, it's very bitter. Yeah. I can't really think of anything to compare it to. It has a texture and the crunch of kind of like Asian pear. You want to take the seeds out. It's like any other type of squash. When I was kind of coming up with this dish, I was really into Sichuan food. I was specifically into this dish called twice cooked pork. Twice cooked pork is a piece of pork belly, most commonly, that's been boiled and then stir-fried. We didn't have the ability at the time to do all of that processing. I actually didn't know how they made it back then. I just had eaten it a lot. Growing up in Oklahoma, I love bacon. And at the time, this was 10 plus years ago, bacon was having quite a moment. And so I thought, well, why don't we get the best bacon we can get and kind of replicate that dish? Go into a really hot wok, render out all of that fat, and then use that fat to stir fry rice cakes. And I like to have nice, meaty chunks. And when it gets cooked in the hot pan in the dome, the edges get blistered and render a bit. The bacon we got from a really amazing butcher called In's Meat. So my inari, this is tofu skin. So it's basically tofu, like bean curd. It's been fried and then simmered in soy sauce and mirin, and it's kind of very sweet. When I first had this, it was such a good spongy, chewy texture, and it really complements the rice cakes quite well. Tofu skin, I'm just gonna leave that length because it's about the length of the bacon. So the garlic, I'm just gonna go lengthwise here. So another thing about cooking out of the dome, and I can speak to cooking out of a wok, is that everything happens really quickly. It's all about your prep and making sure everything's ready and on hand the way you want it to be. And this is the beautiful cilantro we got from Lonnie's at the Green Market. The cilantro is just gonna be a garnish at the end for a little bit of lift and freshness. The texture of this flat style rice cake, I was hooked on. And so I've been hearing a lot about this restaurant called Witch Topokki. Witch Topokki is a rice cake buffet. They have rice cakes every which way. A lot of my friends have been there multiple times. And it was one of the funnest eating experiences I've had in such a long time.
So this is the seafood broth.
Okay, cool.
It's mainly made out of the fish cakes.
Oh, amazing.
So, yeah, so it's very traditional.
And so you let this simmer and then now we can go look at the buffet. All right, cool.
We're gonna ask you to choose between two different courses.
Okay.
A or B. A includes the tteokbokki, the fish cake. It does not include the fried foods. But B includes everything, including the fried foods.
So we gotta go with B.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Get 3 scoops of whichever flavor you want.
What's your combination? What do you do?
I am kind of obsessed with spiciness, so I only get the very spicy one.
3 of those?
Yeah.
You'll get 3 of Beware?
Yeah, but I can handle a lot of spice.
Tteokbokki, it's a simmered rice cake in a chili sauce. Well, I've never seen this many rice cakes before. So how many would you usually put in here?
I usually recommend getting 1 or 2 of each.
You get 2 of every kind?
Yeah.
Okay. This place is amazing because it seems like it's a choose your own adventure kind of situation. Pumpkin, sweet potato, I've literally never seen these before. These are cool. Needle rice cakes. These are cool, like a little hole in the middle. This is pretty heavy already. How much of each of this stuff do you suggest?
1 of each. Get a lot of those though.
Awesome. So clearly we have to get chicken fingers. Oh, I have a nice beautiful shrimp here. This is glass noodles inside of it, wrapped in nori and fried. Can we fire pizza?
Plain or pepperoni?
Can we do half and half?
Half and half? Yeah, I'll let them know.
I love that this is in the shape of a heart. Look at that, this is sausage cake here. What are these little balls here?
Oh, they're popcorn chicken.
Oh, oh my God. Wow. This is a regular
King's Feast.
dude. This is amazing.
Knowing you, your personality, I feel like this is like talking to you about food and manifesting itself into a buffet.
A little fogged up here. Oh my God, it's so good. It's pretty spicy. A lot of things going on in here, and a lot of it's rice cakes. So I'll show you. This one was called, like, I think a needle rice cake or something. It has a nice hole in the middle. This is like the wide rice cake. So this is like a wheat-based rice cake. It's actually quite a bit chewier. This is the most traditional when I've had tteokbokki, is this shape. This shape is like tube. These are really cute. These are really nice. It's just great. Kind of like when you're eating like pasta. Different shapes make sense for different things and have much different textures and kind of pick up the sauce in different ways. It's all about the sauce. Oh my God, it's so good. It's the best dip. All the starch from the rice cake comes off, and you can see how that started out really thin.
Yeah.
And then by the time it cooks, it gets a little thick and like viscous. I mean, the pizza, look at that. I'm gonna roll a rice cake up with this cheese pizza. This is the sweet potato. So good. Tteokbokki, not just flavor-wise, but texture-wise, it was really inspirational to me the first time that I made stir-fried rice cakes. The version of rice cakes I've been making for over 10 years now is like all about hitting all these flavors and textures. It's pretty magical.
Yeah.
The floor temp is around 800. You want your pan to be really hot, like a wok. When you pull it out, you want to see a little bit of white smoke kind of come off of it.
Yeah.
Like that. There's no fat in here yet. All right, we're good. I'm going to add about 2 to 3 slices of bacon per person. This will be for 2. The moment you incorporate fat in a wok, you need to work very quickly. Once around, a little bit of olive oil. Right back in. I'm just gonna let that rock just a few moments. I'm gonna take this out now. And look at all the fat that's come off of it now. And you're starting to see it color up here. This is where you wanna flip it. You need this fat to help bring the whole dish together. So I'm gonna use the rice cakes now. I like to soak them about 30 minutes before I use them in cold water. So I'm just gonna pour some of the water out. It's said that it helps contribute to the chewiness of the rice cakes. Almost all of it. You want whatever liquid that's on this rice cake to contribute to this stir fry. I'm also gonna throw a little bit of garlic in here in this corner. Get a little shake. This water that was on the rice cakes is already steamed off. And all the cure, the black pepper is starting to kind of season the rice cakes that's on the outside of the bacon. Still got a fair amount of heat. I'm gonna layer some bitter melon in here. Give that a quick sizzle and go back in. You look at this. So what's beautiful about this is it's kind of like cooking mochi. The rice cakes have toasted and gotten this like nice kind of like char on top of them. And this dish is pretty much done. So from here, I'm just gonna season it with the inari. Now we're gonna go with the chili crisp mushroom seasoning powder. I also like to add a little bit of maple syrup or agave. You want that sweetness. I'm gonna give it a hit of soy sauce really quickly. Throw it in for about 10 seconds and take it out. So in, just to make sure everything's nice and warm through. And on top, we'll garnish with chili oil, Sichuan peppercorn, and then a good amount of cilantro on top. There you go. Manja. So I love this dish because I'll make this for my son at home because it comes together so quickly. The rawness of the cilantro really matches like the chewiness and how everything is cooked together. So you have like sweet, salty, smoky, spicy, bitter, tingly, and chewy. You want that sweetness over the years I've been like, why is this so good? It's like bacon and French toast, kind of.